What's up, everyone? Pick 5 Johnny back with you with some pre-derby knowledge. We are talking the Bluegrass, the Ashland, the Gazelle, and of course, the Wood Memorial. We're going from Keeneland to Aqueduct. Man, am I excited to give you guys, look at that, I just hit the mic. Am I excited to give you guys a little bit of insight on what I'm thinking of taking? But also, this is a really big weekend. We got a lot of stakes action happening all over the country, and it's a lot of great races. This is probably arguably the best part of the pre-Derby season, this weekend specifically. You got the opening of Keeneland, you've got 3 Derby preps, and you got the Oaks to go with it, along with tons of other Grade 1, Grade 2, and Grade 3 races. Let's get into it. Let me take you over to Keeneland, where we have got the Ashland on Friday. That's right. Get home from work, fix you a drink, and go ahead and turn that TVG on, turn that FanDuel TV on, and put that Ashland race on your network. Make sure you're watching, because we've got the return of Big Willis and I's, one of our favorite fillies, Guns and Graces. You've got the Brad Cox trained Punch Bowl. I don't know why my nose is itching so much. Then you've got Julia Shining, coming off a little bit of a disappointing loss. Then you got Wonder Wheel, undefeated at Keeneland, the juvenile Phillies champ. But like I said weeks ago, months ago, I didn't like that race. I didn't like the horses coming out of that race. And one of those horses is Wonder Wheel. And then you got Defining Purpose, lost twice to none other than Wet Paint, the #1 3-year-old filly in the country. But if I had to make a pick, it's going Guns and Graces, hoping she returns to that form that she ran in the one-turn race of Devona Dale when losing to Darth Vader. And then I'm going with the Brad Cox train Punch Bowl, continuing to improve and probably get the victory in the Grade 1 Ashland. On to the Gazelle. We'll just go ladies first, right? So we'll do the two filly races, and then we'll do the 2 colt races. Ladies first. The Gazelle over at Aqueduct on Saturday. We've got my girl, Sheeta Booty. Sheeta Booty. We've got a colt, which is interesting, or a cult, however you say it. I don't know if you gotta sit up when you say it, but that horse won around 2 turns, beat Gambling Girl and Affirmative Lady, which Affirmative Lady won the Gulfstream Park Oaks this past weekend. And then you have a horse I was unusual to me. Didn't really know the trainer real well, but Frosty O'Toole. Now, the horse started on the turf, went to the synthetic, and now has been 2 for 2 on the dirt over at Tampa. Broke her maiden, and then won impressively in an allowance race. I think the trainer is Michael Deeney, and I think it's the owner too, which is pretty cool. And this horse just jumped out on the page to me, because this horse obviously wanted the dirt all along, gets on the dirt, and has been thriving ever since. That is a recipe for success. That is also going to be some good odds you're going to get on that horse. Now, Sheeta Booty obviously has a class, obviously has the trainer. But don't be surprised if Frosty O'Toole continues to thrive. And as long as we get a fast track over there at Aqueduct and we don't get no crazy swamp coldness, I think this horse might be successful. And honestly, I think that's going to be my pick in the race. I'll find out more as we get closer, but those 3, Sheeta Booty, a colt, and Frosty O'Toole, are going to be on my radar and on my list. Over to Keeneland again. We are talking about the Bluegrass. The Bluegrass is one of the exciting races for these 3-year-old colts. I'm excited to see it on Saturday. We've got Sun Thunder. We've got Verifying. We've got Hayes Strike. We've got Ray's Cane, which it'll be interesting to see if they do send that horse to the Wood, which is at Aqueduct where he ran last time, or if he stays over at Keeneland. And we've got, of course, the Tampa Bay Derby winner, Tappet Trice. Very, very competitive race. this is definitely a better field than Tapit Trice has seen before. Definitely better than the Tampa Bay Derby. I want to see how he breaks. If he doesn't break well and still is able to win with no pace, then that is very impressive. But I think he's going to need to break a little better. I also think the pace is going to need to heat up a little bit. And that could be scary if Verifying just kind of skits off a slower pace. That might be the horse that gets first jump and be hard to run down. I also liked Sun Thunder. I'm not going to give up on that horse. The Louisiana Derby was a very slow fractioned race as far as the pace was concerned. A 24, a 49, and a 114. It was the slowest pace of all the Derby preps. So Sun Thunder did close, but couldn't close on the leaders because the pace was so slow. They had a great jump on him. I like him going into this spot. You know, it is a shorter stretch over at Keeneland, but I think this horse can run some down and maybe get a piece of it, especially if Tapit Trice isn't breaking well. He'll get the first jump if the pace heats up. So if I'm taking two in here, I'm going Sun Thunder and Tapit Trice. I like both those horses, and it's kind of dangerous because both of them aren't going to be up on the pace or close to the pace. So hopefully they'll sit mid-pack and give us a good run on that stretch. And finally, we are going over to Aqueduct for the Wood Memorial. This race, I feel like, might be a little chaotic. I think there's going to be a lot of horses in it. But I'm hoping that the cream rises to the top. And, of course, that cream is my pre-Derby wager, Hit Show. I would love to see Hit Show win this race. Do I give him the nod? I honestly am more confident in other races as of right now. But Hit Show, Slip Mahoney, you've got Lord Miles, you've got Arctic Arrogance, which I don't think this horse wants this long of a distance. You've got Shadow Dragon, who ran a really good race over at Gulfstream, closing well, but didn't really run much last time out, especially as well as he did prior to in the Holy Bull. He ran better in the Holy Bull than he did the Fountain of Youth. I was pretty disappointed in that. General Banker, Clear the Air, Transact, Mr. Swagger, Croupy, interesting, Dreamlike, and Classic Catch. I think it's going to be an interesting field, but at the end of the day, Hit Show is going to be my guy. Now, Slip Mahoney did run a good second in the Gotham to Raise Cane, closing well, wide the whole time, slop everywhere. So if we get a fast track, if Slip Mahoney doesn't have a bunch of crap in his face, I think he'd be someone to have. But as of right now, I'm going Hit Show. That's my wood pick, and I'm sticking to it. And that's it for those 4 races. We'll talk more about it later in the week as the PPs come out and as Big Willis joins me. But right now, in the Ashland, Return of Guns and Graces. Watch out. Punch Pull, the Brad Cox 2-for-2 horse. And then, of course, Wonder Wheel, the juvenile Phillies champ. Then you've got Saturday, the Gazelle. My favorite sheet of booty, but watch out for a Colt and watch out for Frosty O'Toole. Then over back to Keeneland, we have got the Bluegrass. Tapit Trice. Is he for real? Is he as good as his stablemate Forte? Or is he not going to be able to work a trip out because he lags too far behind? And can Sun Thunder get a pace to run at? And then finally, the Wood Memorial, one of my favorite races from last year's 3-year-old season. Hit Show, my pre-Derby wager. I'm sticking with him. I think Brad Cox will have him right, and we'll bring that one home. And that's it for those 4. Stay tuned for more as the week progresses. This is Pick 5 Johnny. We're out.
Johnny Franco, Hit Show in the Withers.
It's a car wash. Here comes Tapit Trice, and Tapit Trice going to go on to win the Tampa Bay Derby.
Punch Bowl is an impressive 2-for-2, and now she has won around 2 turns as well.
Drifting, but she's taken command. Sheeta Beauty Asset Purchase. She, the Beauty, wins the Busher. It's Sheeta Beauty over Asset